What is going on, guys? It is September 10th. It's a Saturday. I hope everyone's having a great weekend. And today's video is going to be about the new Rise of Iron weapon tuning. They released a huge page basically talking about what they planned on doing in terms of tweaking the overall weapon balance in the meta of the game going into Rise of Iron. And without further ado, let's get into it so we can really discuss everything. So first off, I'll post this down in the description below so you guys can read it yourself. But Fabian's strategy, the Titan exclusive exotic, is getting a little bit of a buff, trying to make it a little bit more viable. It's increasing its base range and stability. Base range 16%, stability 44%. Thorn is coming back for year 3, so they wanted to reevaluate it. Basically, they just said essentially what are Thorn's strengths, damage over time, fastest family of hand cannon fire rate, and effectively best in class level range with Send It. They've reduced base range by 25%, and this is a big difference from year 1. Universal Remote is something that they had actually kind of brought back into the game recently over the last couple months because it didn't have the special ammo hindrance, and people really honed the ability. You can go watch True Vanguard videos where he'd run around with Universal and then a fusion rifle or Universal Sniper. It was a very deadly combo in a skilled hand, and essentially what they did was they reduced the exotic perk range bonus by 75%. No longer guarantees maximum shotgun range, and increased rate of fire lowers damage as a secondary effect. So this is huge because a lot of people would use this in things like Inferno Clash or Inferno Rumble, because it doesn't have the hindrance of the special ammo thing. Drake's Promise, that's just an overall increase because they're bringing back sidearms, so increased damage by 8%, increased magazine size by 3. I think that they want it to be viable compared to all the new sidearms. Touch of Malice, essentially what people were doing, and I had seen this in the Crucible, where people would get down to the last shot, and everybody knows that you use Touch of Malice for Oryx, mainly just the raid. That's really what it was built for, but people were using Blessings of Light, and what they would do is they'd pop a bubble, run around and destroy people with Blessings of Light because they'd have that final shot on. And essentially what they did was they used the self-damage infliction now removes your Blessing of Light, so it's not as viable anymore. I don't know how I feel about that. It's something I never used, but you kind of got to respect the strategy that goes into it a little bit. Boolean Gemini, yeah. Super versatile weapon receives another tool in its kit, adds intrinsic perk high caliber rounds. And intrinsic, essentially what they're saying is you're not necessarily going to see it. It's kind of one of those hidden perks, but high caliber rounds are now on it. I was using it last night. I was going to upload a video of me trying to test these weapons out, but just didn't get enough game footage in one night to do that, so I'll probably do that later. It's definitely very good. Now, no time to explain. Added intrinsic perk Headseeker, and I've always thought that Headseeker is one of the best perks you can get on a pulse rifle, especially a mid-range rate of fire, and it's something that it represents. I want to say Nerwin's Mercy, that pulse rifle, Red Death, things like that. It was very good last night. It rewarded a skilled hand. Obviously, the Grasp of Malik, Hawk Saw, PDX, 41, 45, those are all still going to be very good. But this one just gives you a little bit more of a diversity in the pulse rifle category. So another big thing they did, and this is something my friend made me aware of, is sniper rifles. So essentially what they looked at was the 1,000-yard stare, the longbow synthesis, and the LDR. And the reason they did so was when you looked at them, they had decent magazine sizes, they had good impact, which equated to a decent damage per second. Really good target acquisition, and when combined with the hidden hand perk, which a lot of the pro players or competitive players use, you could really do a lot of damage. It was very similar to like low impact sniper rifles like Waylurin's March or Prey's Revenge. Ability to take down a Guardian with one shot in a super, that was something that they had talked about. High body shot damage with a rate of fire still fast enough that a 2-tap was possible. So they really looked to change this, and what they did was reduce damage on mid to high impact 1,000-yard stare family of sniper rates by almost 7%, 6.95. Can no longer reliably kill high armor guardians in super, and no land beyond is not affected by this. And reduced target acquisition for the LDR as well as the longbow synthesis. So they really tweaked it in some major ways. Those were the 3 most powerful year 2 snipers. People still used her Revenge from year 1. It was still viable, you know, if you still had one, people kept that. It was a very good, very good sniper rifle. But I'm glad that they made these changes, because then it just kind of gives people the ability to kind of experiment with other secondaries. Let's see, as a result, the slowest firing family, Black Spindle, should be the key tool to take down supers, balanced by lower magazine size, fire rate, and aim assist. This is something that I looked at. Aim deflection, aka how much people screen kicks or flinches when you shoot them. The changes that they made were starting strength for aim deflection when players take damage while scoped in from 30% to starting to 50%. While scoped in from 30% starting to 50%, starting with every subsequent hit, the strength of deflection increases until you hit 100% max deflection. Overall sniper ADS increased to 1.9 was 1.85. Let's see. Fix some things with incorrect rate of fires. Auto rifles got a slight buff. Middle rate auto rifles received a small damage boost to help with damage fall off, but the result does not drastically change its time to kill. Reduced maximum magazine size for the Doctrine of Passing rate of fire. Increased damage to middle rate of fire auto rifles by 1.5%. Shotguns, Immobius, decreased spread on Titan class shotgun, reduced spread angle penalty on shotguns with the perk full auto. So they're basically trying to bring those back. Things like the invective, in times of need would come to mind. Increased high rate of fire and low rate of fire shotgun damages by 2%. Pulse rifles, increased the rate of fire for the Heika pulse rifle. Minor increase 2% to damage from middle rate of fire family pulse rifles. Thank you, Owen's Mercy. I talked about that earlier. Sidearms, they got a huge buff because they really wanted to bring those into Rise of Iron. So decreased damage for non-hit scan sidearms by 5%. Yada yada. Added damage in PvE. Minor buffs to stability. Essentially, just check it out. Now, rocket launcher's got a huge one. Grenades and horseshoes. Is no longer like the bread and butter perk on a rocket launcher. They wanted to also bring back where is it? Reading through this, I just had it. Rocket launcher perk. Increase effective range on explosions for the cluster bomb perk. That's what it is. So they're trying to kind of mix it up. Now, Truth was not affected by this, so you can still use Truth. Machine guns, highest rate of fire family. Crowd control, increased damage on highest rate of fire. Machine guns 4%. Hand cannons you only find. Yada yada. Barely touch those. Very small adjustments for fusion rifles, and then perks. I'm gonna let you guys look at perks because we are running out of time on the video. But I just wanted to share this with you guys because typically with the new game like the Taken King or now Rise of Iron, there come very big changes, and especially for people who do play trials or are just trying to be competitive in the competitive community, it's important to note the changes. That way you can possibly continue to be dominant, things like that. So take a look at this. It is really interesting. Other than that, guys, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Enjoy your weekend. Check this out. Try using the No Time to Explain Red Death. Those are feeling pretty good. Fabian's strategy just melted in certain situations. I mean, I didn't really get to use it too much, but it was still fun to use. Try it out. Look at these patch notes, look at these weapon tuning and upgrades, and just try to see if this is something that you feel like is something that you like. And if you don't like it, complain to them on the forums because they always look at that feedback. So hope you guys have a wonderful weekend day. If you guys are new to the channel, leave me a thumbs up and check out the channel and subscribe. Other than that, guys, stay focused, stay humble, stay driven, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. I might do a double upload. If not, I will upload tomorrow. Peace.